Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I decided to watch Walt Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which I think is still a classic for its time. Uh, it had a lot of things going for it that a lot of Disney movies don't typically do. For instance, it's got a self-rescuing princess um, who happens to be a independent woman, an intelligent woman, one who can read, one who can make her own decisions, and is perfectly capable of tending to business, as it were, if need be. And Belle is all that in a nutshell. She's beauty, class, and brains, but she's not afraid to stand up for herself, and we see that later in the film. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, even if you have seen it. So sorry, but I also think that Gaston as a villain is probably one of the better villains that Disney has created. Now Gaston, though he is a pretty boy, he he's just a misogynistic jerk, and he's part of that good old boy mentality, and just that he thinks that everybody should have to worship him as some sort of Adonis, which, granted, though, he is very handsome. I'll give him that. He is extremely hot. But he's narcissistic, he's conceited, he's boorish, he's a bit of a Neanderthal. Well, yeah, Neanderthal, I guess, would be a nicer way. I would like to say amoeba, but no, he can use big words and sentences and they make sense, but he's just a man who has machismo on the brain and just considers himself above everybody else, and males to be the superior species, especially when he's talking to Belle and planning to woo her and settle down with her. And right before he makes his proposal to her, he comes in and very rudely plops his muddy feet on her table, takes off his boots, and you can see that his feet stink because, well, he's a hunter. Hunter sweat. And, and he says, "Picture it, Belle. My latest kill roasting on the fire, while the little ones play on the floor with the dogs. Oh, we'll have 6 or 7. And then Belle says, "Dogs?" And then, of course, Gaston retorts to that, "No, Belle, strapping boys like me." And I just thought, oh, come on, really? I'm not really that surprised. I mean, I've seen the movie 11 times or more, and I'm never surprised at this. It's just Gaston being Gaston. And we can see his true nature coming out. And just the fact that he wants to procreate with her only to continue his genealogy is just downright wrong and self-serving. And just for the survival of his macho qualities and his he'll have little Aryan babies. I mean, come on, it's just kind of disgusting in a way. But it's his character, and and I don't know what it is, but I love to hate him, even especially when later in the film, uh, we know where the beast is, and Maurice is conned into telling his story about the beast yet again, and Gaston has bribed the owner of the local asylum to literally just throw Maurice, Belle's father, the inventor, into the paddy wagon as blackmail. He will not be released unless she agrees to marry him. Now, how's that for romantic? As far as I'm concerned, that is the worst thing that you could possibly do. It is terrible. That is just insidious. That is devious. That is despicable. It is just atrocious. But that's Gaston for you. Um, we really begin to see Gaston's true colors emerging, especially near the end of the film. We know what's going to happen to Gaston, as he's a villain, and no one mourns the wicked, as the musical says. Yeah, ain't it the truth? The poor wicked. Anyway, some of the wicked deserve her mourning. Um, as far as I don't really feel that sorry for Gaston, though I do love him as a villain. I just think he's a very intriguing character, and I don't. He doesn't have really any redeemable qualities whatsoever. He's the worst in mankind, and he gives man a bad image. And I like to support my fellow man, as I said in my review of Save the Males. I think that men, as the stronger sex, are wonderful companions. They were created before women were. And I think, I know in a perfect world, and you're probably going to laugh at me, men and women should be equal. But in this world, it's often difficult for that to come to pass. That I think what was really being brought about here in this film is just the historical accuracy of Gaston's whole understanding of females and their role in society, and it just wasn't considered proper for a woman to read or to think. It's sort of like Yentl, if you've seen Yentl. I'm going to make a comparison here. Yentl is the story of a Jewish boy, well, excuse me, Jewish girl, pardon me, I'm going to get it right, a Jewish girl who she wants to go to shul and study and read like her father has, and she wants to become educated, but since she's a woman, there's no place for that in her society. Oh, God forbid a woman wanting to go to shul and learn to read the Torah and discuss it, and yeah, scary thought. But anyway, it's like that. And Belle is a very independent creature, and she's solitary, and she has no quips about that. But later on, she discovers that she has met her equal, and we actually see a transformation with the Beast, and we know what's going to happen. It's pretty predictable, but the part that always makes me cry is near the end. Now, I'm not going to say what happens, but those of you who have seen this animated movie know exactly what I am talking about. And for some odd reason, it always makes me weep. I just weep like a little girl. And it's just such a beautiful portrayal of romance in its entirety, and how romance in itself is love itself is an extremely powerful element. Love can do anything. And you can see that there is equality in the end. And like I said, in a perfect world, I would love for this to happen on an everyday basis, but you and I know that those of us who aren't really taught how to be polite or how to interact with our fellow human beings due to our technology, we don't have the luxury of being um, just going out of our way and uh, treating each other the way we should be treated. But this whole film, it gives me hope as a human being, and it just expresses how love can exist in any shape, in any form, and it can even be for the what we consider the most ugly of people. And usually they turn out to be quite beautiful on the inside. Their hearts are golden and pure, but they have to be taught. They have to be loved. They have to be shown affection in order for this to emerge. And I think you could see this in a lot of everyday settings. But as far as I'm concerned, Beauty and the Beast is art at its finest, and it's been it's been done over and over again, and we've seen it many a time over. But this is my favorite version, other than the TV series, which I absolutely loved. And I haven't seen the musical yet, but one day I really hope to, and maybe I could compare the two. And I know in the soundtrack there are songs that aren't included in the original movie, but other than that, I have to say I give this movie 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. It's truly a classic in every sense of the word, and has a right to be called so. Just because the animation is just glorious, and music is outstanding. Alan Menken is a genius, and of course, his work has always been one of my favorite composers in the entire world. Um, that's about basically all I have to say about Beauty and the Beast. And if you haven't seen it by now, I would highly recommend it, because it just is part of the Disney Renaissance, and I'm hoping that there are more movies like this, animated ones, that give me hope for the return of the Renaissance and stuff, like with Princess and the Frog. So please, Disney, listen to my plea. Bring it back. If you don't, I'll die. Well, not literally, but maybe figuratively inside. So we shall see, shall we not? Fingers crossed.